Hey, fantasy nerds. Uh, I have to check to make sure y'all can hear me because apparently the last live stream I did on The Witcher, um, there was no sound. There was no sound. And somebody said at the beginning, oh, there's no sound. So I was messing around with the mic and whatnot on here, and I asked, could you hear me? And they said yes. So I went on. But apparently, no. I had no sound. Um, no sound. So I just need to know, can you guys hear me? I'm waiting to see. Um, someone is supposed to come on and tell me. Wait. Hold on one second while I check the sound, people. Because I definitely don't want to do an entire half hour stream and no sound again. We don't want to do that twice. We don't want to do that twice. I don't know why the sound was out because I was doing it from the YouTube app. There's absolutely no reason for glitches and technical issues when I'm doing it from the YouTube app and not um uh you know uh not not a not a streaming platform where of course there's always glitches. But yes. Okay. Apparently I have sound, y'all. So we're gonna get started on what did I think of season 4 of The Witcher. Um let's start with the thing that everybody's been talking about since way before they started shooting the season. Liam Hemsworth. What did I think of Liam Hemsworth? In full disclosure, I'm already a fan of him. I love Baby Thor. Think he's great. And when everybody was whining and complaining about him replacing Henry, I always thought a replacement is not the problem. He can do. He'll be able to do it. He could do fine. And now that I've watched the season, he was fine. Lord, Liam was fine. His chemistry with his co-stars, with the merry band of misfits, and his little, made up family, that was fine. And Geralt, whatever his name, he's like this stoic, hardly speaks character. He did that fine. The problem with season 4 is not Liam. The problem with season 4 is the writing. The writing sucked. The writing was horrible. Um, with better writing, he would have integrated into the show seamlessly. With better writing. I'm sorry. I have notes. Um, and even though I've done this before, we're going to do it again. And I'm going to go through all the reasons why I thought that the writing sucked. So basically, you have this disconnected story that opens and closes the season with this man telling the story and this little girl saying, "I'm connected somehow," but they never tell us how. They really only show them for like one scene at the beginning, one scene at the ending. So we don't connect to them. So we don't care about them. So it was the most useless thing. It was so entirely useless. Like, why why introduce these characters who did not integrate with the storyline at all, just to tease, oh, in the future they may integrate. I don't care. This was the most unnecessary scenes. It was so unnecessary. And then you had the recap after the recap. So when you start season 4, they give you this, this long recap um, of last season. But even that recap didn't tell us everything we needed to know, because like so many times throughout the season, there were characters and events that were people referred to that I couldn't remember because it had been years since I seen it. So they needed a recap in front of every they needed a relevant recap in front of every episode. They really did. But after you get this long recap, you get another recap within the story showing all these flashbacks with, Liam instead of Henry. That just felt so unnecessary. You know you were going to do a recap with Netflix. Why have a recap within the story? It was unnecessary, and it just felt redundant. It was redundant. Why? Why did you do that? Just get into the story. Um was let's see. Oh, I didn't like that he was not reunited with Cirilla by the end of the season. And I have to say Cirilla because I have multiple Apple devices, and if I say her nickname, they're gonna start listening to me, and I don't want that. So I have to say Cirilla. So that's why I'm gonna be saying her whole name, her whole Christian name, uh, throughout. So, um, so I didn't like the fact that he wasn't reunited with her by the end. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Hi, Jack Warren. Thank you. Um, doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Yeah, so basically, I can see why there's only one more season left. They did a whole episode of showing and of telling, not showing, just telling. They literally sat around a fireside and told stories all one episode. Like, really, really, we gonna do this? We just gonna have a whole episode of them just telling stories? It was I didn't like it. Okay, I really hate that Liam is going to get the blame for this sucky season. They basically, this season sucks, and everyone is going to blame Liam instead of the writing, which it deserves. You loved Witcher season 4? What did you love about it? Tell me what you liked about it. Cause I felt like the writing was disconnected, and that there was a lot that just fell short. I felt like it felt short. Um, Hi, Marlene Garcia. Hi, Marlene Garcia. Okay. So, okay, so this is what I didn't like. I didn't care about the rats. I didn't connect with it. The ending about it, really exciting ending. You like the ending? Okay. Because I have a whole section of dedicated to the ending. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get to what I think about the ending, but okay. So I'm glad that you liked it. I am. I'm glad because I was sitting up there just I felt like there was a lot of disconnected storytelling. Um, didn't care about the rats. The fight with how do you say his name? Vilgefortz felt anticlimactic. People were talking about characters and events I had long forgotten about. Um, so hence needing the recaps in front of every episode. Um, what's up with Cirilla's magic? Is it gone? Did she give it up? Is it dormant and she just don't know it's there? Like, what is the story with Cirilla's magic? Because they didn't, like, okay, outside of the mages who were getting ready to fight Vilgefortz, her magic was not referenced. Not by Cirilla. Cirilla did not like. I felt like in her storylines, her magic should have been referenced. She didn't need to confide in the rats or her little rat girlfriend that, she had magic, but there were ways that they could have referenced her magic without dialogue, just in actions and things and her reactions and her who is my favorite character? I don't know. In times past, my favorite characters were, well, I like Jennifer at times, but I don't know about this season. She, I felt like she wasn't utilized to the best. But I think Jennifer is my favorite character. Um, yeah, that's the. I think Jennifer is the one I like the best. Um, Okay, but back to Cirilla's magic. Like, there could have been things that she could have done to either reference what was up with his magic. Did she, like, was it something that she was actively choosing not to do, or could she not do it? Couldn't we have her try to do the magic and it not come? Or have a situation where her magic could have helped and she just refused to do it? Like, I feel like we needed to see her magic be referenced, whether it's she couldn't use it or she refused to use it. We needed to see that. um like, you built up this whole season about her being the savior of magic, but did not bring it up with her once. Not once. um yeah, it just felt like the whole season was disjointed storylines that was supposed to tell a bigger story and failed. To me, the only thing that was remotely okay was Geralt's little journey in opening up and accepting help. I liked his storyline the best. I liked his storyline the best. I liked I do not. Well, I still don't know. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Is it Geralt or Gerald? I think it's Geralt. I think it's Geralt of Rivia. So I'm just gonna say Geralt. Um, his motley crew of companions and his story arc of accepting them and working with them was the most competently written thing this season. Um, and not great, but competent. Um, remember, I hated the episode where they sat around telling us their backstories for 2 days. And but, like, there was a whole episode where they, were traveling through the swamp, and they got stuck, and Geralt had to do a puzzle and come to this conclusion that, he was a father. Like, that right there was a great moment. And that was something that they could have done to tell the backstories of each of these characters, rather than having them sit around what do you call it, a campfire, telling their backstories. They could have each had their own little event. They could have each had an adventure that centered around them, that told, that, revealed their backstory. Especially, you had two people who already knew each other, who was already from the same place, the gnome and the dwarf. Their backstories were already intertwined, so their adventure would have been intertwined. I think that would have been so much better if they would have had, like, an adventure or an episode dedicated to each person. um Especially Lawrence Fishburne's vampire, because everybody gets this little backstory flashback, and he gets a graphic cartoon, and it just felt disjointed and out of place. I wasn't too happy about it. I was like, okay. I felt like that was something that we really needed to experience firsthand. We really needed to experience, you know, what it meant to him to be a vampire, and how that affects where he is right now. Because he's like, I haven't had blood since. So how are you still alive? Like, I get that it takes more to kill a vampire, but it's like, don't you need blood to live? How are you still alive? How are you surviving? So I don't get that. Oh, thank you, Photo Chick. Don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you, Photo Chick. She's one of my members. uh, and longest viewers. Do 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 do. So where was I? Um. Okay. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. So with Lawrence Fishburne as a vampire, I felt like that would have made a very compelling, you know, adventure to discover his backstory. That would have been great. Especially if we wouldn't have found out he was a vampire until they had that adventure. That would have been awesome. That would have been great storytelling. Um, so, where was I? Oh, yeah, seeing less of the rats could only be a good thing. They were annoying and repetitive. Um, I felt like I felt like a lot of the stuff I felt like they just kept doing the same things over and over again. And with storytelling in films and in TV shows, you know, scenes usually have one of two purposes. Either you push the plot forward or you reveal character. And I felt like the scenes with the rats did neither. It did not push the plot forward and it really didn't reveal much of character. Like, because, like, I mean, that main character, the character who we should be revealing is Cirilla. So these should have been episodes, like, these should have been scenes that dealt with Cirilla and her refusal to do magic, refusal to be. I felt like there was a lot left to be desired with those scenes with the rats. Ugh. So, the building of this epic war against Vilgefortz could have been less because of how anticlimactic it was. If they didn't have such a huge buildup, the ending wouldn't have felt like such a disappointment. Like, okay, I get it. He's hard to beat, but um, but I felt like because they spent all this time training with witchers and like, okay, we're gonna train with the witchers and we're gonna train how to use our magic with witcher fighting. I felt like that should have made them a greater match for Vilgefortz's minions. Like, they had black capes, but what else could they do? Like, I don't know, nothing I saw from them made me think that they were greater mages than the mages who had Witcher training. Like, I get it was only a few days, but they had something. They had something more than those mages in black capes. I'm sorry, like they couldn't even, they couldn't even stop Vilgefortz for just killing them dead immediately. Like, uh, yeah, I just um and then we have, okay. Okay, so here's where I smash the subscribe button. Thank you, Jack Warren. Um yes, please smash the subscribe button for more content from me, that fantasy chick. Okay, so this is where what I think of the ending. I ain't like it. I ain't like it. It felt like it was a cliffhanger for cliffhanger's sake, not a good, satisfying ending. Because even in a cliffhanger, you still have a satisfying ending. Because what makes a cliffhanger is you wrap up all of the season storylines and then you introduce a new storyline that takes you into the next season. That's a cliffhanger. You don't just leave all of the storylines from this season hanging. That's not a proper cliffhanger. That's just not ending the season properly. Like, you know, Cirilla being caught and you know, her friends are dead and we don't know what's going to happen to her. That should have been wrapped up. Then you have Yennefer going off to confront Vilgefortz, and the last thing we see is her swimming towards his little fort. Like, I feel like the only true cliffhanger is, again, Geralt's storyline, because I felt like, although I still would have preferred had they made it to the town they were headed towards. If they'd have made it to that town where they were supposed to meet up with the people and find the location of Cirilla, that would have been better. But at least with this, with his storyline, they introduced something new, which was the Queen of Rivia knighting him and making him loyal to her. So now he's like, oh my goodness, I'm trying to bring my family back together. He's automatically has his loyalty to a would be queen in Cyrilla. So how is that gonna jive with him being loyal to this queen of Rivia? So like that part is, to me, is the only proper cliffhanger, because it was a new element brought in at the last moment. But it was a new element brought at the last moment, but they did not resolve season, what are we, is this season 3, season 4? We didn't I've already forgotten. We did not resolve season 4 storylines. Those needed to be resolved before you bring in the new element. So wasn't a proper cliffhanger for me. Do 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 do. uh yes, because like you have Geralt spent all season trying to find Cyrilla, never found her, and then like at the last moment they was gonna find her location so they can get to her. And it just felt like if they start the new season with them immediately get into this town and immediately finding her location so they could immediately save her from being killed, I'm like, why couldn't that have been done at the end of season 4? Yeah, if she is saved immediately, it's something that should have happened in season 4. I still think they should have been reunited at the end of season 4, because it feels like a cop out by extending their separation, knowing that season 5 is the last season. And it just feels like they're trying to put it off, like, oh, let's end season 5 with them being reunited. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Nobody's here for that. Du-du-du-du-du. Where was I? Oh, I didn't even mention the fake Cirilla and that storyline. It was also anticlimactic because the what's his name? Amir? I don't know if his name is Amir. I don't know if the name of the place is Amir or his name is Amir. Whatever. That little king. He discovered she wasn't Cirilla immediately. Immediately. And there was no consequences for that. None. He just kept her around. And then when she didn't go with Yennefer, when Yennefer came and killed everybody, then all of a sudden, um, he's okay with her. He likes her. I don't get it. I don't get what his feeling with her is now, because it's like, why do you respect her now just because she didn't leave you? Like she was willingly lying to you, and it I guess it was like, oh, what is she here because she's just a minion of Vilgefortz, or but the fact that she didn't leave means she chose him. But you've been saying, like, this guy has been trying to get you to just marry her all the season. You're like, I don't want her. I want a little gutter rat. I want to impregnate my own daughter. I don't get why this is I don't get his turn with her. And I kind of don't care. It was like, I feel like that's a lot of what's disconnected with me for this season, is a lot of the storylines I didn't care about. Like, I didn't care about the rats. I didn't care about fake Cirilla. Um, Geralt, like I said, him and his little merry band of misfits, that was okay. And even Yennefer and her building her little mage army was okay. But then the ending was anticlimactic. I was very disappointed in that ending, because it was like one of the two things cared I actually cared about. I actually, felt some connection to. Um so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about the potential of this season, like if it had potential. And my okay, so what would I fix if I were to fix this season? I would give the merry band of misfits proper backstory, either episodes or adventures, however many adventures they had in the episode. Probably could only fit one in an episode, but either way, give the merry band proper backstory, adventures. Show less of the rats. Show less of the build up to the anticlimactic fight with Vilgefortz. Hold off on the king figuring out, uh, you know, the fake Cirilla for some time till like almost the end of the season, and then give actual consequences when the truth comes out, like real consequences. Like let people die. Like let him decide. Okay, we're gonna go after Vilgefort. Something. He needs something. Um, some real consequences. Um, yeah, but that would still be an uneven season. It would be mostly Geralt and less of everything else. So yeah, so I really felt like this needed a page one rewrite. I felt like okay, especially because we're bringing in a new actor to play Geralt. You really should have built this. The whole season should have been built around them having all of these separate storylines. I don't know if they should have done all these different. Like I felt like these storylines should have crossed more to support the fact that you're bringing in a new character, because that was another thing. They had all these stilted flashbacks of Geralt and Yennefer and Cirilla, and it's like, you know, it 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 didn't. The flashbacks never really fit with the story, like with the storyline that was going on. That's why it felt so stilted, because it never really connected. Like if the flashbacks could have at least been something that connected to what they were currently doing, it probably would have felt better. It would have flowed better. But it's just like he's going along, and oh, he has a memory, and okay, but there needs to be some sort of motivation. There needs to be motivation in those flashbacks. Something needs to motivate them. Something needs to spark that memory. And I didn't feel like I got that. I didn't feel like I got the spark of why he was all of a sudden having these flashbacks. I understood why he was having them storytelling wise, is because, well, not even storytelling wise, production wise, because you introduced a new character and you introduced a new actor and you wanted to show his chemistry or build chemistry with his with the two characters that matter most to him. And I felt like this could have been done better. Like, if you go back to the first season, you could have built that instead of having all these flashbacks. If the first time we see them together is when she out of nowhere comes portals straight to him, if that's the first time we see them together, it would have had a lot more tension in it, because we wouldn't have seen them together, and it would have had more weight, and it would have been a better payoff. It would have been a better payoff. Just like if we hadn't seen all these flashbacks of him and Cirilla, if him and Cirilla would have reunited at the end, just like they reunited at the end of the first season, or they united at the end of the first season, there would have been greater payoff, because at least then they had this huge coming together, and she didn't even know who he was. But now they actually have a relationship, and that would have been great. That would have been great. I would have preferred that. So yeah. So the thing that disappoints me most about this season is that Liam is going to be blamed for this season, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He is not the cause of the bad season. He did his best with what was given to him. I liked his chemistry with his co-stars, with the Merry Band of Misfits. I liked his chemistry with them. I liked his chemistry with Yennefer and Cirilla. I think he did an okay job. I think he came in and he did great. If there was better writing, his introduction would have been seamless. It would have been seamless. So yeah. So that's what I think. That's what I thought of The Witcher season 4. Liam, great. Writing, not so great. Um, uh, it it could have been so much better. I don't know what they're gonna do in season 5, and I don't know. I'll probably watch because it's only one more season. Since I know it's the last season, I'll watch. I don't know how it's I don't know how they're going to improve, how it's going to get better. I just hope that it does. I hope that it does. So you can check the description for links to my book, this book right here, The Fairy Princess. There's also merch related to the book. There's links to that, and a Fairy Princess Facebook group where we can get together and continue the conversation. You can support my channel by donating through Ko-fi, Cash App, Super Thanks, or you can just subscribe. It's free. You can also join my membership, where we get together and we have members only lives, and also I started once a month um, having a members only watch party that we do on Discord. So you can also get some fantasy nerd merch, unicorn with cute little glasses on. Those are in the links below the video. You can check the description for my affiliate link to bookshop.org. So if you like to read books, like The Witcher is based off of a book, both the TV show and the video game is based off of these books. I'm pretty sure they've been translated into English. You can get those through my link, through my bookshop.org link. And then I get a little kickback for it. So thank you in advance. Also, I do plan on uploading videos again. And when I do, please go to my videos within the first 7 days and give it hype points. Hype it up. Because apparently that helps. And it's free. You do not have to pay to hype up. You just give me hype points. Helps the channel for free. So thanks in advance for that too. But yeah, thanks for joining, and let me know that you enjoyed The Witcher season 4. I'm glad that you liked it. I'm glad that because I have a poll. Do you like The Witcher season 4? And right now we're at 67% yes, it was awesome, and 33% it was meh. So so most of the people in my poll liked it, and I'm happy about that. Um, because I don't wish it ill. I wanted to do better, which is why I have all these critiques. I wanted to do better, but I will see you next week. Oh my goodness, well, if you're in my membership, we'll be doing a members live tomorrow. And I do have to finish Peacemaker at some point, so maybe I'll tell you what I think about that. But I'm also currently reading the third book in the All Souls trilogy, which A Discovery of Witches was based off of. So I'm reading the Book of Life. So once I finish reading the Book of Life, then we're gonna do a novel versus adaptation for A Discovery of Witches season 3 and the Book of Life. So I shall see you all next week. Bye.